In his introductory press conference, Jrue Holiday said something insane about the Boston Celtics fan base. You'll want to stick around for that. Plus, Paul Pierce and Jrue Holiday said that their practice today at the Celtics practice facility was one of the most intense they've ever experienced. You're going to want to stick around for that and much more on this episode of Celtics Digest. But Bruce, before we get into the video, a reminder, you guys have been subscribing like crazy. But if you're part of the 90% that's not subscribed, hit that button down below. If you like our daily Celtics content, you want news for the whole season, hit the button. You won't regret it. The first thing we want to talk about today, Bruce, is not the practice, not what he said, but we got to talk about what he said his role is going to be, because that is very pressing for the Boston Celtics and all his fans. We want to know what the Celtics expect of Jrue and what Jrue expects of the Celtics. And he kind of said, well, Joe Mazzulla said, do everything. He said the way he's communicated with me has been awesome, but this idea of him doing everything is awesome. But he also went on to say that he wants to take over the defensive workload so Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum can do what they do best, which is score. He mentioned conserving their energy so they can score. And I mean, already, Bruce, that's something we've heard Kristaps Porzingis say as well. But it's very clear to me that Jrue Holiday is ready to come in and do whatever it takes, not only for him to play well, but for the whole team to succeed as a whole.
Exactly. I think that these new guys coming in for the Boston Celtics, Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday, are going to buy into their roles for the Celtics and not try to take over this stardom from our superstars in Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. And I think that's important for these guys to buy into their roles. Like they said, Jrue Holiday is going to be a nasty defensive piece for the Boston Celtics, kind of replacing Marcus Smart in a way, and honestly being better on the offensive side of the ball in ways of playing off ball and with the ball. And I think buying into that role is going to help out the Boston Celtics when they get into closer matches against teams, maybe into crunch time games as well, where we're not going to be seeing some jacked up shots coming up from Jrue Holiday. We're going to see Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis actually making the right plays for the Boston Celtics and making these winning time plays for this team to win.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people saying you made a good point there, right? In these closing time, these crunch time games, like I understand he's kind of replacing Smart in a way, but he's not who we traded Marcus Smart for. We traded Malcolm Brogdon and Time Lord for Jrue Holiday, and the thing is, Malcolm Brogdon, while he's good, he's not a closer on most NBA teams. Jrue Holiday is, and I think having that extra guy who you can rely on at the guard position to close a game, not only offensively but also defensively, is extremely valuable. But Bruce, isn't it just awesome that this early, like not even the season hasn't even started yet, but all we're hearing from everyone around the Celtics, every player, every staff member, is that these guys are buying in. There's this hunger for banner number 18, and these guys they have no egos. They're just coming in saying, oh man, this is a special group and we got to do together what we can do to win.
Exactly. I'm really excited to see what this core can bring for the Boston Celtics. Obviously, we've seen some great teams with a lot of teamwork coming in, with guys like Robert Williams and Grant Williams being very vocal with these teams. And obviously, losing those guys, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, are going to have to be more vocal. And they've said that at practices in the first 2 days, they have been more vocal and stepping up on that, which is something you love to hear. But I think that this core is actually going to be willing to gel really together. And I think the push for banner 18 is closer than we think. And I think that they're going to be going for more banners ultimately in the future, as well. As we've seen that in the press conference today, they mentioned that this isn't for just the immediate team right now. This is for the future. They want to build on this team for 5 to 6 years to come on.
Yeah, and they're really starting it off on the right foot. And speaking of that, right, Jrue Holiday had his first practice, and Paul Pierce was there, and we've heard, the Celtics organization saying they want Pierce, they want Garnett, they want these guys around the organization to give that feeling of importance, that legacy feeling to the Boston Celtics, and it's really helping. And look at what Pierce had to say about today's practice. Celtics governor said, Celtics governor spoke out about it. Paul Pierce turned to us and said he's never seen an NBA practice in his whole entire career, which is like 20 years, by the way, that went that hard, that fast for so long. But it wasn't just Paul Pierce saying that this practice was insane today. This is going to go down as like the mythical practice, right? When the Celtics win a title, you're going to look back to this day. Jrue Holiday said the Celtics' best players are also their most competitive, said Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown were getting after guys defensively at practice. And that's exactly what you want to do. Like you said, Bruce, these guys, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and now Jrue Holiday, are trying to speak up, trying to make their voices heard, trying to get everyone to buy in. And they're not only just saying it with their mouths, and it's not like ego, oh, you got to do more of this. You see a lot of teams, these players say, oh, I'm upset with this guy. They're going after guys defensively, like, prove it to me. We are the best players on the team. We're proving it to you with our effort. And, like, I don't know, this practice just feels like it already almost has, like, mythical status.
I totally agree. Joe Mazzulla earlier this season said that he wanted more Celtics to come in and work with this team, like you mentioned. And that's what happened today. He sent out a bunch of emails saying that he wants to bring guys in. And we've seen guys like Paul Pierce come in. A guy like Leon Poe was in there yesterday
Mhm.
as well, talking,
Legend.
doing some work with the Boston Celtics. So this is great for the Celtics team. And obviously, with the practice working very well, like you want to see the guys buying in so early. We've heard from Celtics Media Day that in August the rookies were showing up, and then Tatum and Brown were showing up in the middle of August, which was shocking to some of these rookies and under contract guys. But that motivated them to buy in and work even harder. And I think that you can see that when you get into the practices. Jrue Holiday's just showing up. He doesn't really know what to expect from the Celtics team. He obviously knows they're a hard working competitive team from what he's heard, but he has to be shown that. And by going into practice today, I think the boys really showed to Jrue Holiday what they can buy into for this team. And I think that he's gonna appreciate that and work in with these team and show his values as well.
Yeah, and I think again he fits in so well with not only his play style, but with the team culture, right? He embodies what it is to be a Boston Celtic in a lot of ways, right? And he knows it's big shoes to fill, right? He knows he's coming in playing that guard position where Malcolm Brogdon just won Sixth Man of the Year, where Marcus Smart won Defensive Player of the Year, and it's not easy to fill those shoes, and the expectations are really weighing on his shoulders and the whole team. But the fact that we're seeing this at practice already is so awesome. Now you got to think that's going to at least continue for part of the season. You have competitive guys that want to win so badly, the likes of Jrue Holiday, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen, everyone on the whole team. I think it can work together very well. But I think that kind of transitions. As mentioned, Sixth Man of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon. Well, Jrue Holiday had something to say about another type of six man, and that's the Celtics fan base. And he says that they are literally insane. And when I say that's not an exaggeration, Jrue Holiday says the Celtics fans, quote, they're a bit crazy, they get rowdy, they get in your face. Definitely one of the best sixth men in the league, if not the best. The fans are literally insane, and I'm proud to be a part of that. Bruce, nothing made me love Jrue Holiday more instantly than hearing him say that, because we all know, yeah, as Celtics fans, I consider myself literally insane sometimes when I'm supporting the Celtics. But the fact that he loves that, he's buying into that, I think he'll be a perfect fit.
I totally agree. Obviously, going to Celtics games all the time, every single year, I'm legit screaming every second I'm in that building, and cheering on the boys, disappointed, always making sure that my voice is heard. And he can easily tell from playing in multiple playoff series against the Celtics as well. I think he's definitely going to buy into that culture and get involved with the fans as well. Jrue Holiday is a very passionate guy, as we've heard, and on and off the court. And I think he's going to buy into that culture with the fans, kind of appreciate them, want to yell with them, get psyched up with them. I know that plenty of Celtics fans love this team. They definitely show it. And I know that a lot of NBA other fan bases kind of disagree with how some Celtics fans may treat themselves, but the Celtics fans really are diehard people and they really do care. And Jrue Holiday made that known today. He was saying that they're mainly blue collar workers, guys that work hard, want to show that determination with they work, and he knows that that's what they want out of their teams as well. And Jrue Holiday is ready to prepare that for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, and again, like we keep talking about this practice. I mean, just the effort they've shown in practice is relatable to a lot of people, right? You see this hard work, you see these guys putting in the drive, the work to get things done. It's great. Now, our Celtics fans may be one of the quickest fan bases in the NBA. If you're not playing well, to let you know with their chance, yeah, of course. But I think the guys like Jrue Holiday, these competitive guys, take that as motivation, right? And when he says the fans are literally insane, it's not a bad thing. It's like they're going to get on you, they're going to remind you what they want. And I think that really serves as motivation the whole way. But Bruce, I just truly feel like Jrue Holiday feels like one of those guys. He's so likable, number one, but number two, it feels like he rarely has bad games. Yes, he shot Milwaukee out of a few playoff games, whatever. But I feel like the fans are going to be able to at least respect him and at least just acknowledge the amount of work that he has put in and the amount of good play he's going to put in for Boston. I think he'll get a very warm reception.
I totally agree. I think that these fans are going to be excited to see Jrue Holiday provide for them. Obviously, with Media Day, everyone was asking where Jrue was. Obviously, the trade hadn't gone through yet, so we couldn't have any main press conferences or talks to. So that's why today it was a big focal point for Celtics fans to get their main guy, get his attention, see how he felt, and get him ready for practice. Obviously, get him ready for training camp and get these boys ready for their season opener on October 25th. I know that it's away, but when they come home, when they play Miami in the next game, that building is going to be loud and crazy to show their appreciation for their boys.
So excited. Opening day cannot come fast enough. But that'll do it for this episode of Celtics Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you're still watching right now and you haven't hit subscribe, why? We have this kind of content all the time. And if you enjoyed this video, you're going to like all of our other videos too. I'm Josh Gosse, for my co-host, Bruce Veliz. We'll catch you in the next one.